Warning: this clip may contain greatly offensive content. Do not watch if you have a heart condition or are under 18. I'm not kidding, you will die. Hello bros and welcome to SFX or BroFive production and next part of Corruption of Champions. Start recording right here. So, I think this is gonna be the last clip before we start with the Urta storyline. The Urta storyline is very long. So they're gonna take some time. Let's start with followers. Ember, drink blood. It's another day, so I can do that. You decide to continue drinking Ember's blood, intent of acquiring the power that come out from within. Let's read what changed. Finally, the pain dies down and look from convention bottle of examining your change at the appearance. You had turned into a reptilian muscle, with small barbs on the side of the jaw. You now have a dragon face. That's pretty good. Whoa, my description has pretty much become a bit longer. Let's see, there was something. Yeah. Having met Kelt, you know his living subject you plan to have abuse in exchange for training. Are you going to endure it, resist, or never resist? I can resist it. Wait. Endure. Once more you encounter Kelt on the Centaur Witness Farm. He smirks at you and asks if the fool has come once more to learn from the master. You grind your teeth in irritation, but swallow pride enough to ask him to help. Kelt seems to find the idea of training a human almost comical, but suggests that if you want to follow him around for a while, he has no problem with it, though his attitude is annoying. You resolve to learn what you can. Here, Kelt said, tossing a spare bow. You can use this for right now. We train colts on it. You know, before their balls drop. Should be just about right for you level. Keep it if you want. Despite his mocking description, the bow he gives you is a really decent weapon. You take it and start towards the practice field, Kelt following behind. Kelt is arrogant, crude, and all or too often cruel as he mocks your attempt at archery again and again. Despite all this, however, he obviously doesn't know what he's doing. He tried to ignore his insults and lewd comment, and as best you can, to focus on archery. In the end, you feel you learned a lot, though Kelt remains snide. If you were a centaur, I'd recommend suicide. Since you are a human, I say your best option is to fuck off. Actually, if I would use a bow in real life, I would be better than in the game. Because actually, when I was younger, I actually used a bow. I was out like every day and practiced arrow shooting. I actually got pretty good at it. Good in it. I don't know how good I am now, but I think still could fire a couple of decent shots. Alright, followers. I'm gonna talk to Red Soul, because apparently he wants to talk to me. Red Soul glances your way and as you approach his lab. A thoughtful expression on his edged-line face. Tell me, SFX0, do you truly enjoy having that vacuous idiot around, lusting after you at all hours of the day? You asked, shaking his head interested. She's clearly been subject to an effect of bimbo liquor, which, as you can plainly see, are quite indeed potent. What was that? However, like most things in Maref, it can be countered, at least partly. Ratsul folds his long clawed fingers together, his tail lashing behind him as he thinks. Perhaps with a sufficient quantity of something called Scholar's Tea, I could counter the superfying effects of the elixir. Oh my, yes, Rasul nods, stroking his few wisps of fur that hang from his chin. You await further clarification, but the old rat just stands there, staring off into space. Coughing politely, you require his attention, causing him to jump. Oh, yes, bimbo liquor, that's right. As I was saying, 5 Scholars Tea along with 250 games for other regiments should give me all I need to create a bimbo beating brew. Oh my, that's alteration. How absurd. Rasul shook slowly, wiping up a drop of his eye before he looks back at you fiercely. It is worthwhile goal. No creature should be subject to reduced intelligence. Let me know when you have acquired what is needed. Yoda is at Rasul's lab. The smaller white mouse is asking the elder rodent if he would like to meditate. Rasul considers for a moment and agrees. I have to try it when I have some time. A little reflection would do your old soul some good. However, we cannot now. Its effect is here and has need of me. Yoda turns and gives a quick bow and departs. Rasul looks up from his equipment and gives you an uncertain smile. Oh, don't mind me, he says. I'm just running some tests here. Was there something you needed, this elixir? Rat mentioned, I see you have at least one tainted item on you. For 20 games I could remove most of the taint, making it a good deal safe to use. Of course, who knows what kind of freakish transformation it would cause. Rasul offered, since you have enough games to cover that cost of materials for my dice, and well, you could buy one of my dice for your hair. I will need 50 games up front. Actually, that is too much. 50 games for a die. I could buy one for 20 at the salon. You recall that Rasul is willing to make something to cure bimbo liquor. Yeah, that's what we already talked about. No! Pizza. 1 second. I'm back. They were going to buy pizza, so they wonder what I wanted. Let's explore normally. Hey, I found it in the first try. Scholar's Tea. Yes. No, I have some. Actually, I represent red dye. I would never color my hair red. I have a bad experience with red hair. Yeah, I got 5 Scholar's Tea. Ratsul. Debimbo. This draft is concerned for 5 Scholar's Teas and who knows what else. Subsequently, it will correct the stupefying effects of bimbo liquor. Debimbo. That just sounds fun. Debimbo. Yeah, you can do a song with. On the other side, you could do a bomb with it. That would actually be fun. Rasul takes the teeth and gams into his wizard palm, shoving the glittering jewels into a punch and the tears into a large center. He promptly sets the combined brews atop a flame and shuffles over his workbench, where he picks up numerous punches and vials of every color and description. adding them to the mix of the water. The mixture rolls bubbles atop the open flame like monstrous earring things, but quickly simmers down to a quiet boil. Rattle leaves it going for a while, staring occasionally at the pulls out a small vial. Once most of the extensive liquor has evaporated, he pours the combination into a glass container and corks it, holding it up in light to check the coloration. That should do. He mutters to himself, Ratsul, and carefully handing you over the mixture. This should counter the mental lingering effects of bimbo liquor, but I have no idea to what extent those who embedded it will retain of their spent as the time spent as bimbo. You place the bottle and mark the bimbo in your second pound. Alright, I'm gonna debimbo Sophie directly. No, Sophie, right? Yeah, Sophie. Sophie flutters her wings, kicking up a small cloud of dust around herself as shifting positions and present her F-cup press to you. She not wearing a stench of clothing, and you can see the sticky, soaking fluids of her lust running down her thick tights unbedded. The heartbeat twists around, leaning over to show you just how big and round her jiggly ass has become. The bulging cheeks frame my blonde feathers hair, draped over the dairy. She asks, baby, baby, I'm horny. Could we, like, fuck or something? You aren't turned on enough right now to make use of Sophie's services? You could use the bottle of debimbo to return Sophie's intellect. Yeah. Oh wait, I turned against her will. This won't end good. Turning into the potent mixture of your punch, you consider giving it to the bimbo harpy. Floating about in front of you, she's probably pretty mad about the whole affair. But if you want to repair the damage you inflicted, this is probably your best bet. Do you bimbo Sophie? Yes. Oh, this seems not good. You grab the air-headed harpy and pull her over to you, pressing her impressive chest against you as you ready your intellectual broom. Oh, hey baby, what you got there? Sophie asks, staring wide-eyed at the texture. Telling her not to worry about it, you pop the cork and bring the vial neck up to Sophie's mouth. Her big full lips particularly eagerly. Hey, is it wine? I could just die for some wine. Then maybe like a good hard fucking afterward. She declares, jumping exactly in your grasp, almost making you spill the drink. You grasp her chin, steadying the harpy head just long enough to append the liquor into her mouth, making sure to drain every last drop into the before you tickle her throat, forcing her to swallow it all in one utter gulp. Oh, that totally wasn't booze, Sophie complains, struggling out for a grasp and pouting feathery arms crossed beneath her heavy bosom. You observe her for a long moment, waiting. Hey, I like it. Don't feel so good, Sophie finally says, clutching her head, fingers running through her thick blonde locks. Much distractions this time. Hey, I like you in the face. What? Shit, where am I? And what happened to my tits? Sophie staggers forward, blinking hard. When she looks up and at you a moment later, you can see the gleam of intelligence flaring brighter once more in her blue eyes. What did you do to me? Sophie screams and looks sheer feral rage splayed across her still bimbofied facial full lips. Drawn into a snarl beneath the gleaming eyes and long golden hair. Her shiny yellow feathers ruffle as she stomps up to you, putting her face right up to yours. You bitch! What did you do to me? You recoil on the sudden outburst of rage, mind racing for an appropriate course of action. I could beat her. I won't. That would have not done good. I could apologize, or tell her why I did it, or let her go. I'm gonna apologize. That's the best thing I can do. You decided to apologize to Sophie, saying you didn't mean for things to get so out of hand. You didn't know she'd changed quite so much. You only thought the potion would enhance her physics, maybe make her a little more representative to your advances. She listens silently, averting her eyes from you as you talk. You know, though, as you speak, her hands slowly drift down, feeling along the new body she's been given as a discovering her enchant assets for the first time. The platinum blonde heartbeat shudders as her hands drift across her F-cups, fingertips gently caressing her promotion nipples, which stiffens instantly under her touch, ready to played with or suckled on. When you finished explaining yourself, there's a long moment of silence. Sophie continues to avert her gaze, but you can see that she calmed somewhat, perhaps soothed by your honesty. Finally, though, she speaks quietly and with barely more than a whisper. The heartbeat woman says, I can't go back. What? Just look at me, she says, whispering. I can't fly like this. Even if I could, the other girls would just... Oh. The thing they say. I can't go home. Just... she pauses a moment and to your surprise, why she sucks her lip. Hell, I always wanted to get off that fucking mountains anyway. I'm tired of the girls making fun of me. Calling me fat-titted slut. Sophie looks up, looking at her eyes with you. Well, since you seemed so keen of having me around, I guess they wouldn't mind me sticking around, would you? Respect Zero. It's not like I have anywhere else to be. Maybe at least you can appreciate my new physics. And I have to admit, these are rather sexy, she says, capping her hefty teeth. Maybe I just set up a nest over there. She adds, idly pointing toward the bare space on the edge of the camp, sheltered by a circle of rocks. You nod and tell Sophie to make herself at home. Sophie has been moved to the followers tab. I'm just gonna check my skills before we end this clip. Stats, I mean. Alright, these are interpersonal stats. That's the submissionness to kill. I would not submit to him. Never. Alright. Next time we'll probably start the quest line. And I'm gonna pretty much do the things with the cult off screen. Because they're gonna take a long time before I'm good with the bow. Alright, stop recording right here. So that was all I have for Corruption of the Champions this time. Sure, this clip is not as long as I would like, but I don't have more time right now. But at least hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. BroFive!